So what's a little animal magic got to do with This Is Everton? Here's a clue. On a day trip to Chester Zoo, we join up with David Unsworth. Joining a crackerjack of a competition, goal of the season, and who better to adjudicate than Bob Latchford, the manager's favourite.
Kanchelskis! Yes! Andrei Kanchelskis has scored his first goal for Everton.
You'll discover that Everton ladies are just as committed as their male counterparts. More and more, Everton's becoming a family-orientated club, and one of the father figures explains why, the legendary Dave Hickson. Continuing the family theme, have a guess at who's my daddy. That's little Joe. Dan doesn't give the game away.
Hello, I'm Louise.
And Tom's namesake is an open secret.
Please, man, I'm Tom.
Dad's always at the heart of the action, of which we've plenty, including another derby match of royal endeavour.
What's it about this Everton attack? Odegaard, who recently got his first goal for the club, and had them all round the ground looking for another from the Swiss international.
We start with the trip to Elland Road, where Everton hadn't won for 45 years. And the unlucky streak continued. Perhaps some Irish blood was required on St. Patrick's Day.
Radaby has made his way up and collects the throw in front of Horn. It's the South African again. Brolin, the Swede. And a goal! A shot from Brian Dean! No sympathy from the referee. It's clearly that Short got the ball cleanly enough. Kanchelskis. There's still a danger when you force him inside. Hinchcliffe. Limpar. Limpar's cross. And there's the equaliser from Graham Stewart.
Well, you have to see it's put on the cards. The last 10-15 minutes, and this time, well, they do pick out a final ball. Good interplay, Kanchelskis and Limpar. That's a lovely ball from Limpar, pass and move. He drops it off again, and Graham Stewart, the man you talked about, well, that's a fine header, showing that you don't have to be 6'3" in Duncan Ferguson to get in between players, and that's the important thing he does there. He gets in between two 6-foot plus defenders. And a very firm header into the corner.
After the slow start for Everton, in which they went behind to Brian Dean's deflected shot, more assurance from the team that's been beaten only once in its last 11 Premiership outings, and Graham Stewart matching a personal best with a 9th in the Premiership, and he could have easily made it 10 for the season within the league. Everton. That's a fine tackle by Horn. He's been known for that down the years. Hinchcliffe. Ferguson, there's no flag. There's Lukic. Then there's Everall. He's given the penalty. And Everton suddenly are in the ascendancy here.
Well, they tore them apart down this left-hand side. I talked about the lack of width left. And Andy Hinchcliffe just raced into Akers and slid a lovely ball through. Now, Lukic does the first job well, he gets helped. Radaby blocks the second shot, but Ferguson sets himself for the volley. It's a clumsy challenge more than anything.
Well, this to give Everton the lead with 32 minutes gone. Oh, he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way and put it wide. A failure from the penalty spot from Andy Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe on for Horn. tracked by Ford.
There's been some good running from Everton from midfield areas all over. From Kanchelskis, from Limpar, from Horn and Ebro as well. And they've really given the kids in that area really food for thought. They're learning a lot about the game today, the Leeds quartet in midfield.
Oh, great stop by Lukic from a fierce header by Ebrel. And Tinkler makes a very sensitive burst forward. And Dean! And Leeds get back in front through Brian Dean again, right on the stroke of half-time. Corner for Everton. Looking to get level for a second time with Kanchelskis. They are level. It fizzed in with a flick along the way, and this time the break is with Everton, and it's 2-2.
Well, John Ebro may well have been in an offside position when he hits this Andrei Kanchelskis, but he gets some power in it, and the deflection's there. Well, it might not be, but I don't think you can be disallowed goals for that kind of thing now. He hits it so well, but it's the deflection that's the crucial thing here. I think John Lukic is probably going to save that. But just like the first half, when the deflection took it past Neville Southall, the deflection takes it past John Lukic.
Stewart. Ferguson for Kanchelskis. Leeds getting bodies around him. Stewart still waiting by the far post. If Hodiger can provide a cross, Leeds haven't really picked him up. Hodiger can't pick him out, but he picked out Limpar coming in round the back. Another chance.
A game really that we should have won. I think that everybody who saw the game would admit that on chances and domination. Found ourselves behind twice and chasing the game twice. Maybe one or two looked at their side and thought, well, it's not their full side, and psychologically came off it a notch. But I don't know. I suppose there's two ways of looking at it. We're disappointed we didn't get the 3 points, but bearing in mind Everton's record at Ellen Road in recent years, a point is not to be turn your nose at. So no, we're happy, but we could have been happier with that.
And now Royal Blues, Joe's Everton dream team, which goes back to the early 60s and right up to the present day. An ideal blend of graft and craft. The defence and midfield are both institutions. The front three come from three different eras. But what about the subs?
If you think of all the great players that we had to choose from, but certainly Roy Vernon and Alex Young would be two who would have been in anyone's team. I mean that. I mean that the forwards were the hardest to pick of the whole side. If you add those to the three that we are playing, they could have played. I mean, there's no problem there. But one player I thought that might have threatened the midfield would have been Peter Reid. You know, I saw Reedy have a bad start at Everton, come on and win the fans over, go on to see them win things, and is now carrying that same determination and ability into management.
Peter Reid, the governor between 84 and 87, and special congratulations on leading Sunderland back where they belong. See you in the Premiership next season, Reedy. Bring your memories, but don't expect any favours in return.
Of all the players we've talked about, I think Roy Vernon would probably be as big a hit in the modern game as he was in the time he played. Very, very quick and as clinical a finisher as I've ever seen. And like sort of 20 years before Ian Rush was famous for waiting on a centre-half shoulder, Roy was doing it, ready to go in behind. So a great player. I'm not sure that a lot of people realised how good he was. Unfortunately, the great man is also deceased now, but he would be in anyone's side. Alex Young, nobody needs telling about Alex. God, the golden vision, lovely man and a lovely player, great balance. Used to make defenders fall over with a shake of his hips. And again, you know, doing the Cantona role in the modern game, I'm sure that Alex would be a massive hit. So my three subs for the Royal Blue 11 would be Peter Reid, Roy Vernon and Alex Young. And I don't think you'll ever see three better subs than them.
Roy Vernon, whose hat-trick against Fulham illuminated the championship celebrations of '63. Alex Young, surely the most idolised Evertonian of all time. And something else to cheer up Peter Reid.
Vinnie Jones casts his industrious eye over the situation. Not a bad free kick and not a bad goal. Jones plonking it on the head of Marcus Gale. Done something here. It's a short free kick. Then pass cross, Short's header, 1-1. Beautifully conceived, perfectly placed with the left foot of Limpar. A great short second goal for Everton. Such a danger at these set pieces, high above the Wimbledon defence. Everton really taking the game to Wimbledon. Limpar, Hinchcliffe. Ferguson heads down and Sullivan quite happy to pass the ball to his chest. Short waiting for anything that was dropped. Massive kick. Quite route one, but didn't put it out. Gabriel is in the centre of midfield. That's a lovely pass as well to Kanchelskis. Looking for a shooting opportunity, had the power. The goalkeeper well placed. Away he goes again. The wind catches Kanchelskis, there's no stopping him. Blows across the pitch. Now Limpar. Well, it required a deflection to go goalwards. 10 out of 10 for effort. More than half clear the ball, but it's all Everton at the moment. Limpar at the thick of things. No stopping him, beautiful skill. Hinchcliffe's cross. Oh, wasn't far away. Ferguson couldn't quite get the connection he required. Everton are winning everything in the air against Wimbledon, who are renowned for their aerial ability. Now it's on the floor. This is where Hammer catches it is most dangerous. Good cross, good goal. A rare Andrei Kanchelskis header. Well, it was a reversal of roles, really. Amakachi with the cross, Kanchelskis with the header. Beautifully laid on pass from the Swede. The cross from the Nigerian, and the header from the Russian. A goal from the United Nations. Up and under, where will it land? Feet of Gale. Does well. It's not a bad cross. Castledine drills it in. Wimbledon are back in the game. Well, they're fighting for their lives in the Premiership. Really, it should be 3 or 4 goals in Everton's favour. They've got to make these count. Kanchelskis again, drifting in from the wing. Limpar with a shot! Oh, hit the side netting. Gladys Street thought that had gone in. He wishes it had. All the big men forward for Wimbledon once more. Everton struggling to get it away. There's Clark with a header, and oh, it just squeezes it under the bar. Another late fight back. Time ticking out. Wimbledon won't give up, that's for certain. Clark won't. He's really been quite a handful since he came on. Oh, 4 goals to Wimbledon, 4-2. They clinch it in the final minutes.
Well, at 2-1, I thought we'd go on and win comfortably. You could never write Wimbledon off, and they came back to 2-2. But it was still going the way that if anybody was going to win at 2-2, it was us. And then with 4 minutes to go, lightning struck. We were very careless at a corner or a succession of corners, and of course that's Wimbledon's forte. Ended up in our net. The 4th goal I felt was academic. Fair play to Wimbledon. If they come to Goodison and play three forwards up front against us, you can't accuse them being anything less than positive. But a massive blow really to our European hopes at that stage.
Hello, my name's Dave Hickson. I was a striker for Everton in the 1950s. I am now back at Everton working on the club tours and in the community.
I'm a grave Dave Hickson supporter. He was a smashing fella. I used to enjoy watching him play, and it's a great pleasure to see him today.
Do you see the picture up there?
Who's that? Oh, the old boots. See the boots there?
I know a lot about Everton. I mean, I've been at Everton since I was 14, and it's been my first club, and now it's going to be my last club, so I'm absolutely delighted to be connected with Everton again.
What's the best thing about this job you do?
I think meeting the people. People asked me questions about years ago about football and about what I think about football today, and altogether I'm enthusiastic about it. I love it.
Dave's bridging the generation gap as part of the overall scheme to develop community awareness and youth appreciation of the club's traditions and ambitions. He played for all three Merseyside teams with almost as much mobility as he presents his guided tour around Goodison. Dave's the ultimate enthusiast, steeped in general knowledge, but his specialist subject is Everton. He's still a player at heart and always will be.
Would you like to play in this current Everton side?
Oh, I'd like to play in any Everton side. I'd love to play in any Everton side, yeah. And especially this one with Kinchelcius on the wing. I think I'd love to play with him, yeah.
Stadium tours catering for old and young alike. Interested? Well, phone in on 0151 330 2266. And now it's time for Goal of the Season. The nominations on Nice One Gladys.
I think Limpar against Southampton was a good goal. One of the best I've seen here for a few years.
Now Kinchelcius is a real expectancy when he gets the ball, as there is when Anders Limpar gets it. It's back to Limpar again. What's he got up his sleeve? Oh, dear me, something spectacular. What a goal, even by the standards of Anders Limpar. You can see his mind ticking over as soon as that move started when he got the ball from Andrei Kinchelcius. And no goalkeeper in the world is going to stop a shot like that from the Swedish star.
Andrei Kinchelcius against Liverpool when Paul Rideout crossed it in and he headed it to the near post and totally beat David James, and the spin on the head was totally amazing.
Kinchelcius. Rideout. Kinchelcius! Yes! Andrei Kinchelcius has scored his first goal for Everton. And he scored it against Liverpool at the Kop end. I should think that's pretty much the way he dreamt it last night. Terrific centre. And a really well-timed header by Andrei Kinchelcius.
Graham Stewart against QPR with the Limpar pass, and he volleys it over the keeper.
Blocked by Parkinson. Right out. Balls for the Everton approach. That's Limpar's cross there. Stewart! Oh, lovely goal! Fantastic pass from Anders Limpar, seeking Stewart, who darted through the Queen's Park Rangers defence, and he finished like a good one.
Andrei Kinchelcius against Leeds United, the way he cut inside three players, just volleyed it and beat John Lukic.
He's been running riot, taking on three defenders, none of them can stop him. Oh, no stopping him now. Andrei Kinchelcius with a classic. He tiptoed through a series of challenges, looked for the yellow of the goalkeeper's jersey, put it in off the white of the goalpost.
Ferguson's goal against Wimbledon, because he had his back to goal and he was just put it in the top corner.
Jackson steadies himself, puts it back into the danger area. Oh, beautiful! Duncan Ferguson hasn't lost any of it. That is why Everton have waited so long for him to get back into that number 9 shirt. This boy is a bit special.
That'll be Barry Horn's goal against Southampton. Barry Horn's goals, they're worth waiting for. They're all edge of the box, top corner. What more can you say? Better than any goal we've seen this season anyway.
Barry Horn determined to do well at the club he used to play for. He wants the ball back as well and gets it. Oh, glorious goal for Barry Horn. That will mean so much to him. Scored in his debut for Everton, scored a famous goal against Wimbledon, and now has scored on his return to the Dell.
I think John Ebrell at Stockport County, just in the nick of time that it kept us in the cup.
Ebrell bursting through. Oh, Ebrell! Fantastic! What a blow to the heart for Stockport, right from the kick-off. Ebrell just ran right through the middle of them.
Andrei Kanchelskis against Notts Forest at the Gladys Street end, and he got a pass from John Ebrell, and he cut in, went past about 2 players and just slammed it in the far corner.
John Ebrell spraying a 40-yarder. Kanchelskis, look at the defenders panicking. 4 of them can't stop him. Oh, great goal! Andrei Kanchelskis seemed to draw all of the red-shirted defenders towards him there. He beat them, and he beat the man in the yellow top as well. A world-class player with a world-class goal.
Duncan Ferguson's against Notts Forest. A great cross from Kanchelskis, bullet header from Ferguson, landed in the net with the ball.
Kanchelskis, O'Connor. Defender can't deal with Kanchelskis, and there's Ferguson! Second time lucky. Well, it was on the cards. Kanchelskis cross, Ferguson header, easy peasy, 3-0.
So take your pick from Anders Limpar, 2 Andrei Kanchelskis, 3 Graham Stewart, 4 Andrei take 2, 5 Duncan take 1. 6 Barry Horn, 7 John Ebrell, 8 Andrei again, and finally Duncan's second contribution. The prize, a VIP day out at Goodison with all the trimmings. Send your entries to our usual address, and remember Bob Latchford's the judge. Graham Tierney of Southport got it right last time around. Joe Raw's debut was against Blackpool. Enjoy your day out at Belfield, Graham. The deadline day for transfers was pretty much of an anticlimax. Matt Jackson went to Charlton on loan and the press went to town. Allegedly, Everton's targets were Celtic's John Collins, Alan Kelly of Sheffield United, QPR's Trevor Sinclair and Gary Speed of Leeds.
If you read the papers, we'd offered half the team plus 3 million for Gary Speed, which certainly isn't true. And if you read the papers, we'd been turned down at 3 million for John Collins, which certainly wasn't true. At this stage of the season, we don't have that kind of money to spend, quite seriously. We're hoping in the summer that there will be money available, but we still have to sell players first. So, yes, there were inquiries, and if the right answer had come back, we might have been doing something. But it passed, and it might have been slightly cosmetic at that stage to buy a player anyway, because it's players for next season that we need. So I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't totally disappointed with that. But yes, we were in there. We were in there.
Crowd settling into the seats now. The game delayed for 10 minutes. Half cleared by Everton. Oh, Grant goes down under a challenge from Gary Flitcroft. The referee very quick to act, drawing Flitcroft towards him. Well, certainly the elbow made contact with Tony Grant's head. And Flitcroft gets a red card on his debut. An early bath just 3 minutes into his Blackburn career. Hinchcliffe to swing it in. Right out, and Ferguson both up there. Limpar trying to make the most of the space afforded to them by the sending off. Kanchelskis! Now has held on well to the Russian shot. Tony Grant having one of his better games since returning to Everton from Swindon. Shot from Horn! Oh, great save! Took a deflection, the goalkeeper saw it late as well. Tony Horn bristling with confidence. He's not known for his long-range shooting. That would have been some spectacular goal had his former Southampton colleague not saved it. Everybody up. Ferguson makes contact and Amakachi blasts the ball in. The goal has been a long time coming. Ferguson's persistence, Amakachi's power.
Score for Everton, Daniel Amakachi.
Defensive play from Everton. Amakachi using his strength and his control well. Kanchelskis, Amakachi. Kanchelskis is out of the traps, no catching him as he's into the area. Oh, what a goal! How on earth did he score from there? He almost had 1 foot on the advertising hoardings. Balanced on the tightrope, and with the aid of a slight deflection puts Everton 2 up.
Scorer for Everton, Andrei Kanchelskis.
Header down, and again Everton deal very competently with it. Flying tackle from Horn. Lofted pass, onside. There's a chance for a third. Kanchelskis away! Keeps his calm and keeps his head to score beautifully. Excellently lofted pass from Grant. The Blackburn defence square. Once Kanchelskis gets the wrong side of you, there's certainly no stopping him. Great finish.
Well, it was dynamite second half, particularly as they tired, you know, having a man short, and as the game got stretched, particularly after the first goal when they came out looking to equalise, obviously, and the poor left back kept getting isolated with him, and I don't think there's any full back in the world that wants to be isolated with Andre.
Everton's flourishing youth policy is very much in evidence in the Pontins League. It's a great experience for the kids to play alongside the senior pros who are recovering from injury or just having a run out for whatever reason. John Hills, for example, supplying Paul Rideout. Hills is one of a number of rookies who are now on full-time contracts. Barry Horn's 100% at whatever level he's playing at. The Welsh captain constantly offers advice. He prompts and probes. A great inspiration for the likes of Michael Branch, Richie Townsend and Peter Holcroft, who combined to set up Barry himself for the type of goal he normally holds back for special occasions. The Reserve League also acts as a shop window for those without a long-term future at the club. The likes of Mark Grugel, Neil Moore and Chris Price have all been given free transfers. Unfortunately, Price won't be boasting too much about that one. The results of these games are pretty much irrelevant. Great pride was once attached to winning the old Central League or the Liverpool Senior Cup. The FA Youth Cup is now higher up the league of importance. The likes of Peter Holcroft getting the opportunity to shine at secondary level, and he certainly does. So too does Michael Branch, the jewel in the coronet. Forget the defeat by Bolton, just relish the exquisite turn and finish by a young man surely destined for a big, big future.
Those bright sunny days at Southport, but the bobbly pitch and the blustery window make it easy for football. Stake in the Liverpool defence, and Branch controls it well. He has support in the centre. Grugel scores! Well, that'll impress the scouts who are watching him with a view to offering a contract for next season. It's almost like playing on AstroTurf. Ball blasted down, and this is Ian Foster up against 4 defenders. Ball takes a bobble, and it works in his favour. Oh, Foster can't quite believe that one literally bobbled into the net. Ball holds up in the win from Matteo. Tackles flying in thick and fast. Now Everton try and play some football from the back. Hallcroft, chip over the top. Branches away! Oh, and it just fell unkindly to him at the vital moment. Hills with a corner. Gets well away from the goalkeeper. Headed down from Weathers. Very brave save. Oh, bobbling around again. Another shot. Again, cleared off the line.
We had a young team. They were kind of excited before the game. I mean, I get excited, you know, which is not too normal, you know. But before the mini derby, you know, everybody gets excited, and there was a good crowd there as well. You know, there was like nearly 3,000 people, which at Southport, you know, fills the stadium almost, you know. And I thought both sets of kids did great. I thought it was a smashing game because the conditions were a bit difficult. The ground was bumpy, and it was difficult to control the ball. And both teams like to control the ball and pass it and move. And it was a great game.
Bolton really are in a must-win situation. Hinchcliffe puts the cross in. Stubbs is beaten in the air by Ferguson. Drops to Hottinger. Well, of all the people to drill it in, Mark Hottinger scores his first goal for Everton. He actually claims that he has a good goal-scoring record back home in Switzerland. He drilled that one in. As always, Duncan Ferguson, a real threat in the air. His back flick. Hottinger 1-0, quarter of the game gone. McCatchy. Grant really coming on strong, taking control of midfield. Kanchelskis is away! Good save by Bolton's new keeper, Gavin Ward. Grant saw the opportunity. Kanchelskis flew in again. The goalkeeper stood his ground. Wasted forward, Coleman's missed the header. Grant tries the cheeky chip! Oh, the goalkeeper had butterflies then. He really is improving to be a player of the future. Kanchelskis, the freedom of Goodison Park, it seems. McCatchy. Ebrel with a shot. Once more, Ward well positioned, showing good handling. Barry Horn. Oh, he's just onside. Duncan Ferguson is away. He's got a chance to score. And Gavin Ward's having an inspired game. 1 by 1 they try and beat him. Fans getting behind their side, but really it should be more than the 1 goal. Now, oh, Coleman's given the ball away, and McCatchy has a golden chance. It's stopped once by Ward, and it's stopped by 3 and 4 defenders. Well, Daniel McCatchy won't get a better opportunity than that. To be fair to Ward, he stood up for a long time, made an excellent save, and then you saw the commitment to the Bolton Wanderers course. Everybody got back to clear it off the line. Time running out. Ferguson heads it down. Ward stops it. Half cleared. Grant puts it in. I'm sure there's an invisible wall there which is just preventing Everton from scoring another goal. Coleman whacks it clear. He needs to get the ball up. Bolton need to score to try and haul themselves up the bottom of the Premiership. It's a rare chance for them, but it comes to an end. Again, excellent defending. The flag stays down. Kanchelskis has timed it perfectly. Only the goalkeeper to beat. And the man is in goal scoring form. His 5th in 4 games. Well, he showed the footwork there of a dancer from the Bolshoi Ballet. Look at that little shuffle through the keeper, and then from a tight angle it was easy really for a man of his quality. This should be the final chance of the game. 90 minutes up. Great save by the goalkeeper, and another corner, another chance. Now well into stoppage time. McCatchy He's had a 5-star game. Making a little run, taking everybody on. Oh, great goal! An individual goal of class from Daniel Amokachi. One thing on his mind then, he knew that he could take a risk. He took on the whole of the defence, and that goalkeeper who's played so well. And a well-deserved 3-0 scoreline now. A well-deserved goal for the plucky Nigerian.
Very solid, not spectacular, never in any danger. I think really for a side threatened by relegation, they will have been disappointed in their performance. But then again, I would have to say that they were never allowed to play, and we were always strong for the game. And although the goals came late, 3-0 a game was just about right for it. So we'd reversed a little bit the points that we'd lost against Leeds and Wimbledon at this stage.
Still 3 or 4 players short of a championship-winning team, Everton made steady progress up the Premier League, hopeful of a place in Europe at the time. The Swiss international, Mark Hottiger, who was signed from Newcastle and then subjected to a lengthy period of inactivity whilst awaiting a work permit, finally got the green light after all the red tape and got himself on the score sheet against Bolton.
You're not known for your goal scoring, but you took that one well, didn't you?
Yeah, thank you. But I like to go forward, and but with Andre just in front of me, I give him the ball and he makes the red, and I am happy when sometime I can go forward, and I was happy, pleased to score against Bolton. I hope it's not the last one.
You say you link well with Andre. I mean, he's got to be, I don't know, I was going to say telepathic. You don't speak the same language. Is it sign language or something?
Yeah, but I think when you play football, it's only one language. It's a ball, and he's a good player, and it's easy to understand his game. You give him the ball in his feet, and after you look. That's all.
Having not played for so long, he's had a lot of games thrust upon him. He's played for Switzerland a couple of times, as you say. He's got married, and I think really he's effectively done a pre-season at the end of the season. I think he's done well. I've been pleased with him. His passing is excellent. His awareness, he has good pace. But I think again you'll see a 25% improvement at the start of next season when he does a full pre-season with us. I'm delighted with Mark Hottiger.
What a couple of months to look back on.
Yeah, very very busy, and but. Now everything all right. I get married. I play in Everton, and next month in European Championships, I hope. And everything all right now.
Andy Hinchcliffe steadies himself for the corner. This Park Rangers defend with 10 players, but Sinclair brings it away. Excellent run from Sinclair. He has support as well. They've made good ground. This is Gallen! Well, from one end of the field to the other in one fell swoop. Holloway has a little luck up. It's not a bad cross. Hateley's got there. Oh, that's his speciality. Mark Hateley makes it 2-0. His goals at this club have been a long time coming. Bardsley. Tightly down the touchline. This is Gallen. Sinclair makes a move, but cannons off him. And just attempted clearance. Sinclair into the area. Great save, Southall, but Impey sweeps it in. And the struggling Premiership side are 3 up. Roughly about 12 minutes to go. Southall pumps it forward. Ferguson heads it on. Ebrel! Nice little volley. Probably going to be too little too late, but at least some consolation. Ferguson winning the ball cleanly in the air. And Ebrel making a good clean connection.
We started okay. Found ourselves a goal down from one of our corners, and they broke at us and scored. And you're never happy with that. We had several chances to win the ball back, but we didn't. Then we're chasing a little bit, but whilst they were never well on top of us, we were never at it first half. Their second goal really was a killer. Second half, one-way traffic. They broke away once and scored. And the goal that John Ebrell scored really was scant reward, although it was at the end where all our supporters were, so we've got to be pleased for that. But again, a disappointing result, which really knocked out of sync the Blackburn win, if you like.
So here we go again, Everton preparing for Wembley.
Well, sorry, no, can't come here just at the moment. We're prepared for this match today. It's very important for us.
Why can't we come in?
Well, it's very important. We want the girls to concentrate on listening.
The girls?
Yeah, the girls. Well, Everton's got a good team. We've got a good ladies team now as well. And we're vying for third spot today. OK?
Male chauvinists might view it with a certain amount of scepticism or cynicism, but Everton ladies are on the ball and deadly serious.
Two things, girls. The main two things is we keep the ball. The first thing is nearest blue shirt gets it. For the first 10 minutes, nearest blue shirt all the time. Bump, bump, bump. Every single time we get it, we've just worked for 20 minutes on touch and doing stuff when the ball's at our feet. The first 10 minutes, nearest blue shirt gets it every time. And the second thing in that first 10 minutes is that you win the little individual battles. Who are you picking up? Who are you marking? Who are you going to go one-to-one with all the time?
On the whole, we're a pretty average team at the moment. One or two players, we get one or two players in, then yeah, we'll be competing for the top spot.
What league are you in? Tell me about the league and the competition.
We're in the Women's National Premier League, which is the highest women's league you can get. There's also Division 1 North, Division 1 South, and then you also have all your own local leagues and that. But we're in the top Women's Premier League that you can get, just like Everton men, the equivalent.
So how are you doing? Are you doing better than the Everton men?
We're about mid-table. No, there's 10 in our league in the National Premier. We're in 6th place at the moment, same points, 1 point behind this team here, but they've played 3 games more, so hopefully 3 points today will put us up to 3rd or 4th.
This is a bit of a crunch game, is it?
It's a crunch game, but as long as we finish above Liverpool, we don't care where we finish.
The girls are fantastic. I told them at the start that I'd never been involved with women's football at all, and this was the first women's team I'd ever seen. Technically they're very good, they're fit, a little bit tactically naive at first, but we're putting that right and we play good shape to our game, and we've gone from strength to strength, and I hope we'll get a lot from this game today.
From full-time to playtime.
Hello, I'm Louise.
Now who's their daddy?
On this knee here is Danny, who's a bit shy, and Joe on my right knee, who's even shyer. Hey? Not like your mother, are you?
Dave Watson's image as a family man is far removed from the tenacious tackling and fearless leadership which enabled him to lift the FA Cup for Everton last season.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's something that I know people have said it before, it's something you do dream of, and it really is something you dream of. I remember I've got a young lad who's 9 now, and when he looks at the FA Cup on the television, it's something he always says, I'd love to do that. And I was in his situation, and unfortunately for me, I was up there and lifted the cup, and it's something that'll stick with me for the rest of my life.
Dave's immediate future is secure, but with the likes of John O'Connor coming through, Craig Short, another natural centre-half with a few more years on his side, and of course Dave Unsworth, Everton's current captain is under no illusions about the long term.
There's always incentives, there's young kids coming along trying to take your place, and that's something you've got to prove you're better than them, and there's always a challenge ahead of you. I mean, if you ever think you've sort of made it at football and you become content, there's always someone to knock you down, and so I've been on my toes right through my career, and as I say, I'm 34 now, and there's young lads coming after me place, and as far as I'm concerned, I need to try harder now than I did when I first got in the side to stay in it.
Wait there, what's the camera on?
That's just like me, that, isn't it? Steady.
Could go anywhere.
What oh?
What of the future? I noticed the coaching videos dotted around the house. Is that the direction you'd like to go in?
They're the wife's, the coaching videos. Yeah, I'd love to stay in the game in some capacity. I help out now with the under-10s at the School of Excellence a couple of nights a week. And my little lad trains with the under-9 at the school, under-9s at the School of Excellence. And it's something I'd love to do. I think I've got a lot to put back into the game. I think I've learned a lot over the years. And if I can help one or two kids along the way, great. But yeah, I'd love to stay in the game.
Dave's going to give us a massive problem one day when it comes time to replace him. Fortunately, at this moment, that time is nowhere near. He's as fit and as strong and as fast as anyone at the club. His will to win is undiminished. And long may that continue. And we have a stock, if you like, of young centre-halves. John O'Connor we've already seen. Graham Allen we will see soon. The young lad called Richard Dunn, they're all coming through, waiting for a chance, if you like. But if Waggy carries on as he is, they might have to wait a while.
When he's finished playing, and I know he wants to carry on coaching, do you think he's got the attributes to do that?
No doubt about it. Common sense, scouse wit, great example. No, there's no problem with that. Dave Watson will be an excellent coach one day.
Footballers' kind of lifespans are growing longer and longer. You're only 34 now. How much longer do you think you've got?
That's to live or carrying on playing.
What's the difference?
I feel great at the moment, fitness-wise. I feel as fit as I did when I was, 21. My fitness level hasn't dropped at all. I think maybe if you get an injury, it maybe just take a little bit longer to heal as you get older. But I've always sort of ate sensibly. I've been no angel. I mean, I like a night out with the lads, but I've always trained hard, and I think that sort of kept me going in life. I think if you become a bit of a recluse and take all the work home with you when you get beat, if you're depressed and you're going in depressed the following week, I think after a game you've got to go out, let a bit of steam off, and then get back to work, on the Monday morning, which is what I've done through my career, and so far so good.
Joe Royle began his managerial career with Everton by celebrating victory over Liverpool. He's yet to experience defeat, and few can say that. Weather conditions were appalling at Goodison as the two tribes met for the second time this season. Pouring rain and a muddy playing surface.
Poor. There was Jones, and that was made straight forward for him. Redknapp. Liverpool forced into an error. Amakachi. Still Amakachi. And James was sprawling. Unsworth in, typifying Everton to this point. Ferguson! Great stop by James. Oh, what a save. A little sloppy Liverpool at the back. This has been a supercharged start from Everton. They've really put them under pressure. The ball's barely been away from this end of the pitch. They just go a little bit of sleep. Near on it, looking for offside. Never an offside decision. David James spreads that huge frame of his so well. Makes the target a small one for Ferguson to hit. Ferguson went to ground. Ebrel. James has missed it. Oh, Kanchelskis must score. Everton get a goal that's been threatening all sorts of chaos in the Liverpool penalty area, and Andrei Kanchelskis is the Derby Day man again. It stems from the fact they don't deal with the long ball. Ferguson's the one that causes the problems. Scales doesn't clear the header, but I have to say, full marks to John Ebrel. He never believed the ball was dead. He never believed he wasn't going to catch this. He just kept going and got rewarded with that little bit of good fortune and Kanchelskis' determination. But this was all to do with Ferguson just making them miss the ball and Ebrel's determination not to give it up. Here's Watson. Ferguson looking to take. It's Amakachi's shot. Goalkeeper's lost it. Oh, well, I think it went off Amakachi. I think he's given a free kick, Martin. I think he's given a free kick on the challenge when James spilled the ball. But it's a great strike, and the conditions again made this a really difficult save. Ferguson just lets it go, knows where his strike partner is. That's a wonderful save. But just here, I think he gives a free kick just there. Well, I tell you, didn't look an awful lot wrong. Whether he's given a goal kick, I'm not sure. He's certainly pointing straight at the centre of the goal. But he might have given a free kick in there. Certainly didn't see the whistle go.
And once more, how far have Liverpool got? 30, 35 yards, trying to pass their way out of trouble. Sometimes the cloth has got to be cut.
Sometimes you have to vary it, Mark. If I was an Everton midfield player, I would go as tight as you like on McManaman, Barnes and Redknapp.
Hinchcliffe. Hall. Hinchcliffe lets it run for Stewart. There's a zip about this Everton attack. Hottigan, who recently got his first goal for the club, and had them all round the ground looking for another from the Swiss international.
Well, he didn't hit his goal any better than he hit that. He's just a little unlucky. I think he's stretching, and he's just leaning slightly back on it. But it's gloriously struck. Well, a yard to the right. I think David James is struggling to get across from that. Super strike.
Fowler. Give Everton a taste of their own medicine by closing down quickly. Everton, now that's an interesting ball for Kanchelskis. Well, he'll shoot from anywhere.
Well, this has been the side where they've threatened Liverpool, this right-hand side. Very little's gone down the left second half. It's all been here. There's McManaman again, trying to get in tandem with McAteer.
Linesman was flagging for a foul by Everton. David Ellery acknowledged that and let the game go on. Collymore against the bar. He saw the opportunity, he's seen another one. Collymore, and Southall snaffles it. With Fowler there, had there been a fumble.
Well, there was no way he could have fumbled this and not conceded a goal. It's at a good height for Neville. I would have been surprised if that one had spilled. But that ball's like a bar of soap.
Thomas. Oh, that's a bit lax. Ferguson! It was a most noble try because David James was right out on the edge of his penalty area. Well, it's a real tingle to the finish here, and that's a neutral speaking. Being fought to the very last kick between Everton and Liverpool. Collymore, Fowler! Never right off foes in red. 3 minutes to go.
You put a terrific amount though into that first half, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We played well. We scored one. We could have had others, should have had others. I felt we were denied a blatant penalty, and they even got the foul from it. But we should have come in at half-time, really, with the game gone beyond. Second half, of course, they pulled more and more players into midfield. And as we were flagging a little bit, you know, they had lots of good possession.
It came from Dave Williams, the coach under Mike Walker, and it was just one. It was the pre-season tour. We were in Sweden, and I came on as substitute. I seemed to just get the ball and I ran down the wing, just as normal, really. But a couple of players seemed to bounce off me, and it just came from there, and it's stuck ever since.
It's the nickname Rhino. Well, this is typical of the type of run Dave referred to there, which earned him rave reviews last season, and the comparisons with a rampaging rhinoceros. He really does have awesome power. Dave's Everton debut came at White Hart Lane in 1992, and he made his mark then with a stunning goal.
We got the equaliser, which was very fortunate. I don't know what I was doing in the back post area. I actually came on as a left back, but somebody just told me to, go behind the defence, and Peter Bergry, if I can remember rightly, he put a great ball in, and I, just whacked it in the volley, and it's 3-3. Absolutely unbelievable start, and things just seem to take off from there.
Everything gelled last season. Unsworth's power, pace and readership complemented Dave Watson's aerial power and leadership to perfection. But there have been one or two setbacks this season. He's operated at full-back and at times has been left out of the side completely.
You look at the looks of Ryan Giggs. I mean, he had a bit of a season, I think it was last year, where he wasn't what he was when he first came in. And a lot of people, the gaffer said it to me, you get the second year sort of itis, where you're not actually playing badly, but you just sort of level out, and you're not playing to the sort of heights that you just burst onto the scene with. And I think this year that's what it's been like. I don't really know what the reason is for it. I don't do anything differently. I still go out there wanting and giving my best. But sometimes it doesn't work like that, and we all know what sort of game football is. I just hope that I can get back to the highs of what happened when I first came onto the scene.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for him, and a great achievement, he got a cap at the end of last season. Unfortunately, that might have changed one or two people's perception of him as a player who'd already arrived. And really, it was going to be a hard season for Dave after that cap. He did so well for us last year, and he's had one or two little problems, one or two little niggles, not always on the football pitch, which have affected his continuity of form. But there have been signs recently of him coming back to his best.
I think everybody's expectations after we won the FA Cup were a little bit too high. After being in relegation trouble for the last, I think it was 3 years, to suddenly be expected to be up there challenging for the league was a little bit false. This year we've done ever so well. We haven't done as well as we wanted to in the cup competitions, but the league form has been exceptional, and that's why we're up there 6th, 7th place, hopefully challenging for Europe. And it's something which it's going from strength to strength, and I think the gaffer's looking to strengthen the squad in one or two areas, and I think come next season we'll be definitely challenging up there amongst the likes of Newcastle and Man United.
Dave's been an integral part of Everton's renaissance and become an international as well. And his prophecy regarding next season is echoed by the manager. We leave the last word with Joe.
We do need a couple of players to add to the squad. I think we've developed, I think we've improved. I've been disappointed in our cup results, but overall the graph of the side, it continues to point upwards. And I think that given a couple of players that we will challenge from the start next year.